Hello, everybody. I'm live. It's Palmdale Slim here, and we're going to celebrate today. We have a big celebration. We reached 100 subscribers, and I know that doesn't sound like a lot. It didn't really sound like a lot to me when you figure there's 5 billion people, but I'll take it. And I know, truly, I'm kidding, but I really appreciate all the folks that just very recently, about half that growth has come in the last 3 months, and I've been doing a lot of new stuff, whether it's original songs or interviews or lots of playlists. If you're into looking at different versions of the same song, I don't even know how many songs, probably at least a dozen of those. So anyway, thank you for whatever reason you came. I truly appreciate it. There's lots more to come, but we're celebrating 100, and it turns out so does YouTube. I just got an email from them this morning congratulating me for moving into that, I guess, a little bit more exclusive club, so thank you. What we're going to do today, we're going to have just a couple of songs. I won't take up much of your time. And hopefully, you can listen to this whenever you want on the page. So make sure you're a subscriber. If you haven't listened before, just subscribe, and then the next time I do one of these, you'll get an email telling you to watch out for it. Doesn't mean you have to be there when the show happens, but you'll know to go look for it. So what we're going to do today is a couple songs. My first song will be an original. It's the first song I ever wrote about my first granddaughter, Rebecca Jane. And then the next item will be what I'm calling an improvised blues on the spot. I've got the Magic Blues hat here, and as you can see, there's a bunch of little slips of paper in there. Each slip of paper has the theme of a blues song that I could do. Not an actual known song, but just a song I would make up. And so there's 9 themes in here, and we'll draw one, and then I will create a brand new blues song while we're spending our time together here. All right, so we're going to get started here. Rebecca Jane. Rebecca Jane. How I love to say her name. Rebecca Jane, Rebecca Jane. You know I love to say your name. I love the way you're gonna walk. I love the way you're gonna talk. My love for you runs so deep. My poor old heart I guess you keep. Rebecca Jane, Rebecca Jane. You know I'll never be the same. All I do is stare at you and wonder what we're gonna do. We'll ride the swings in the park. We won't get home till after dark. Rebecca Jane, Rebecca Jane. Even then I can't explain. It's something way deep down inside. This love for you I just can't hide. And if you say you'll be mine, I'll love you till the end of time. Rebecca Jane, Rebecca Jane. You know I'll always love your name. I always love the way you walk. I love the way you're gonna talk. My love for you runs so deep. My love for you runs so deep. My poor old heart I guess you keep. Rebecca Jane, Rebecca Jane. Love to say your name. I love the way you're gonna walk. I love the way you're gonna talk. And if you say you'll be mine, I love it till the end of time. Rebecca Jane. Pardon a few errors here and there. A year from now will be so much better. Been playing the guitar for a few months, harmonica for about 38 years, so there's a little difference in the two. Anywho, that was a song I wrote when my first granddaughter, Rebecca Jane McMullen, was born. Beautiful, beautiful girl. Unfortunately, she passed away of SIDS at the age of 19 weeks. Obviously tragic, but that song taught me a lot about how music can heal. I wrote it, of course, in the joy of her being born, and I now sing it today, not to mourn her, but to remember her and to love her, just in a different way. That was what God gave me and my family. We still love her, and she's not with us, but she lives on in this and a million other ways. And so, and that's, something about blues, which is my love, blues and jazz. That music teaches you how to use music to get through things. And that's, the thing I'm doing with the hat is a fun little thing. It's got 9 different, topics that I'm going to pick. But each one of those topics, let me read those to you. This is what I've got in the hat. Lightning Hopkins, just because he was a guy that told stories like I'm going to be doing. But then the rest are really about dealing with life through music. Gambling. Divorce, relationships, whatever I come up with about whatever kind of relationships come to mind there. Social media, there's a lot of stuff there, right? We don't have a lot of blues songs about that. Drinking, every other song's about drinking. Unemployment, that's an oldie but a goodie. Jail and prison, another favorite. And of course, another favorite that could be good, bad, I look at it good, is cars. And so in just a moment, I'm going to draw out of the hat. First, I have to do a couple of things before I do that. First thing I have to do is I've got to change the harmonica that I'm going to use because I'm changing keys. A lot of you that don't know about harmonica might not know, but every time you change keys, you got to change the harmonica because each harmonica is technically in one key, but frankly, if you play the style I play, each harmonica can play in 3 different keys, whatever, who cares, except me, because if I don't do it right, it sounds crappy. So we're going to change from a harp to a B flat. We're just going up a half step. Only if I can get it out and the new one in. The trick is to not put it in upside down. And there we go. Okay, so anyway, what I'm doing here is really a continuation, not of just a blues tradition, which is, making up blues and telling the story of maybe something that happened or maybe something about, a guy that broke up with a woman or whatever it might be, but you're telling the story in real time. And the effect of that is sort of like oral history, if you really think of it that way, which frankly is not just an old blues thing, it's an old thing as old as human beings. We know that Homer's Odyssey and Iliad were initially told and passed down as oral history, and actually were originally referred to as songs. So what I'm doing, I'm not trying to brag that I'm like Homer or anything, but this is something that humans have been doing for our entire existence, making these things up and, dealing with various things in life through this style of expression. So the first thing I did, I said I had to do 2 things. First, I put in the B-flat harp. Now I have to put a capo on the guitar to bring it up a half step. Capo is Italian for thing you put on a guitar. And so I'm going to put this thing on the guitar. Now, I'm not doing that for no reason either. There was an old blues guy named Big Joe Williams. You can Google him and look him up here on YouTube. There'll be a million different things with him. Quite famous and wrote some very standard songs that are still done today. What comes to mind is Baby Please Don't Go. A huge one, Muddy Waters, everyone does that. I do that one. I did it in my last show, in fact, to close out the show. But Big Joe played guitar, and he had his own invention. He had a 9-string guitar. He added 3 strings to a guitar like mine. He would never tell anybody what they were, what his fingerings were. He was very secretive about it. I saw a picture of him on Facebook a couple of weeks ago and noticed the one thing I could tell is that he had a capo on the 1st fret. So we're playing in that key. We're playing actually in the key of F today. But that is in homage to Big Joe Williams. Now, here comes the big reveal. Okay, here's the The Magic Blues hat, I call it. It's been here. It's a very old hat I found in an antique store many years ago. And it's got a history in this room with various people coming in here playing music and wearing it while they're doing it. So it's a special hat. So I've got the 9 topics in here. Let's see what we got. Oh my goodness. All right, a lot of these things I've experienced, but this one I have not. But I'm certainly I can identify with it, as a lot of us can. Jail and prison. So we're doing a prison song. Okay, let's get ready here. All right. Okay. You ever been in prison for a minute or 5 years? It doesn't matter how long, right? Having your freedom taken away. That's no good. They like to put people in prison for doing things that are socially unacceptable. Do you do things socially unacceptable? Oh, there's all kind of things you're doing you don't know. Anybody ever drink too much and get in the car? Yeah, that's illegal. You could go to jail for that. Now, a lot of people hope I won't get caught. It's only a couple blocks to the house. I'm gonna risk it. And then all of a sudden there, you see the lights in that rearview mirror. Now you're going to jail. All you did was drink. Also, everybody says they're innocent. All I did was drink, officer. You ever hear the song by Mose Allison, Parchment Farm? The guy in that one, he's doing hard time. He says, all I did was shoot my wife. Yeah, well, I think I know why you're there. Yeah, you can't do that. So there's big things and little things that we can't do. But there's a lot of things we can't do. So that's life. And that's prison. Taking away the thing you want to do, making you remember them every day. You know who's dealing with that right now? Who watches USA Network. Yeah, USA Network. You remember that show? Well, it's gonna be a memory. Chrisley. Yeah, my wife used to watch that show. You like that show? Talking about prison. Well, he and his wife, they went into prison about, a couple weeks ago. Kind of a little bit different than a house where you're spending $300,000 a month on clothes. A little different. You don't need a bunch of clothes. Everything you got is orange. Now, there's something serious about jail, too. We all know what that is. How many times is somebody going to hang himself in prison? And I'm not just talking about colors. Where it was Jeffrey Epstein? White as hell, right? Or anybody. Why are people hanging themselves in prison and the cops go, I don't know what happened. It was just the 10 minutes we weren't watching. Isn't that a coincidence? Yeah. So you got to determine what you're going to do when you're maybe going to jail for a long time. What are you going to choose? What's it going to be? Is it going to be death? You want death? Or do you want soup? A lifetime of living in jail in a room that smells like soup. That's a tough choice. You gotta figure out what's best for me. Death or soup. but don't go to jail, and if you go, be good. We have a jail here in town. They took us on a tour, the Chamber of Commerce. They're so proud of the prison. Well, aren't we all? I'm proud of the fact that we have to have a place in our neighborhood to put people away who shouldn't be out. So we went on a tour. And they said, you see that line there on the left? If you step 1 inch over it, you're gonna get shot by a sniper. See that tower over there? Oh, they just wait for you to step over that line, baby. Yeah! You gotta go to prison to find out what life is really like in America. It sucks. For a lot of reasons. So stay out of jail. Don't drink. And certainly don't kidnap anybody or anything like that. And if you have to, be prepared. You're gonna get soup or death. All right, thanks everybody. That was it. That was maybe I should rename that one, Death or Soup. And I can't take credit for that. My wife is a huge fan of the show NCIS, and there was an episode a while back. Some of you might know Gary Cole, who was fabulous as Will Ferrell's father in Talladega Nights. Anyway, he's doing an interrogation, and he gives the person the choice of death by lethal injection or a lifetime sitting in a cell that smells like soup. I hope you enjoyed that. And, you never know what's going to come out of the hat, I guess. And, quite frankly, if you're watching this and you're not a subscriber, please just go ahead and, poke that subscribe button. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. I've been doing this channel for about 11 years. I think there's probably more than 10,000 videos in there that you can watch or listen to, and that's really not an exaggeration. I'm kind of a freak that way, and there's all different genres of music. Most recently I started a file on Japanese music and some Latin stuff too. So any suggestions you have about things you'd like to hear, and especially if there's topics that you'd like me to hear, I'm going to start doing these. This is actually the second improvised show that I've done. I did one a week ago where I just did one song. It was kind of a tribute to House Rent Boogie by John Lee Hooker. It was a song that I called Mrs. Wilson's Blues. That's already on the live tab there on the channel, so take a look if you haven't seen it. And I thank you for joining me today, and thank every single one of you for getting me to 100 subscribers. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day.